Okay, let's talk about learning the white keys of the piano. So this takes a little bit of drilling, and it's not necessarily the most exciting subject in the world, but it's something that a lot of people don't take the time to get out of the way. And because of that, they spend months and months still trying to figure out what the key names are. So everything looks confusing, I know, at first, but if you practice this and you drill the names of the keys, you're going to find that it becomes very, very easy. And so you'll look down at the keyboard and immediately know, that's an E, that's a C, that's a D, or whatever. Now, online, also, you'll be able to download a key chart. And you want to make sure you download this so that you have something as reference. And so go ahead and download that if you haven't already, and you can print that out. And that has labeled on it the letter names of the white keys and of the black keys, but for now we're just going to worry about the white keys. So to get started, we're going to start with the note C. Now there are several letters, 7 letters in the musical alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And just by convention, we tend to start with C. I know that's a little bit weird, but we'll get around to A and B, don't worry. So if we take a look here at the keyboard, we're going to orient using the groups of black notes. So this is the first thing you want to pay attention to, are the groups of black notes here at the keyboard. You have groups of 2 black notes like this, and groups of 3 black notes like this. And what you want to do right now, you can pause the video if you want, and just on your own, go through and play the groups of 2 black notes and the groups of 3 black notes. At first, you might actually get them visually confused, because you might, for instance, think that's a group of 3 black notes, but you can see how these are actually separated by 2 white notes. So we don't want that. We want a group of 3 black notes that are together like this. So go ahead and pause the video right now, and then go and play through the groups of 2 black notes and the groups of 3 black notes. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you've paused the video. Now, to find C, what we're going to do is we're going to find a group of 2 black notes, and we're going to go below that group of 2 black notes. Now, below on the piano means to the left. I know that's a little bit odd, but the reason, of course, is that these low notes down here sound low there at the left, and these notes that are up at the right sound high. The higher we get, the higher they sound. So when we say below on the piano, we mean to the left. So you're going to find this group of 2 black notes, and then right below that group of 2 black notes is a C. Now be careful that you're not looking in the middle of the group of 2 black notes. That would be a D, and we don't want that. We want this group of this C that's below the group of 2 black notes. And then as a drill, what you want to do is find all the different C's on the piano. So you have this C, you have this C, you have this C, and so on. And I would go, even if you can't see it on the screen, I would go all the way from the bottom or the top and just play all of the C's on the keyboard. And you want to memorize them again in relation to the 2 black notes. Now this C right here that I'm sitting in front of has a special name. It's called middle C. And middle C is in the very middle of the piano. If you're seated in the middle of the piano, it's the C that's directly in front of you. Sometimes it's helpful if you have, say, a name brand, like I'm looking at my Steinway logo here, and the C is pretty much below that. That can sort of be a helpful little trick. And if you're really not sure, you can count all the way in, and it's not going to be the exact middle of the piano, but it's going to be quite near it. Okay, and one other trick is if you go from the very bottom C that you see here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 C's up. That's middle C. And this is an important concept because middle C is a reference point for us, and it's kind of the starting point in a lot of learning the piano. So there's your middle C, and then the other C's, and you want to make sure to drill those so you know what they look like. But let's kind of keep moving. if we move up one note, you probably have guessed that that's a D. So A, B, C, D. It's the note after C. And by up, again, I mean to the right of the C. And what you want to notice is that the D is in between the two black notes. So here are my two black notes, and there's the D right in between them. Now it's very important that we learn these notes in relation to the black keys, because if we're always counting up from one note that we know, for the rest of our lives we're going to be going C, D, E, F, or whatever, and trying to figure out the note. And I've seen students do this. So make sure you're actually relating the notes to the black keys. So here are our Ds, and so on, and that's in between those two black keys. And then if we go to the right of the two black keys, we have E. So now we have C, D, and E. Now I'm going to start moving kind of quickly because you probably get the idea. We're going to orient now to the three black keys. So we find a group of three black keys, and we're going to find the white key that's below those three black keys. Not these guys, but this one right here. So that white key below the three black keys is an F. So here are some Fs. And now in between the three black keys, we have two white keys. Okay, so this is the three black keys, and then these two white keys here. The bottom of those two, the one on the left is a G, and the one on the right is an A. So we have our three black keys, and then G and A. Now these are very easy to get confused, so I would make sure that you go through and try to play all the G's on the piano. I won't play the ones you can't see. And then all the A's on the piano. And by the way, if you have a full-size keyboard, A, which I know you can't see in this video, is the lowest note way down there on a full-sized keyboard. Okay, so remember G and A, and then we have one more white key left, and that's the one above these three black keys, and that is a B. Okay, so all of our B's here. Now it's actually easy to get B confused with F, so those are a good two to drill in pairs. You see? And F. So this is a very, very simple exercise. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but what you want to do when you sit down at the piano is take a few minutes and try to name all the notes. So try to find all the C's, and then try to find all the E's. Then maybe you try to find all the A's. And at first you might have to think about it, and it's okay at first. For instance, if you're like, I'm trying to find F, but I can't remember where it is, but you know where C is, it's okay to work up from C. So it's okay to go C, D, E, F, and then find the F. But you don't want to have to count from C for the rest of your life. So make sure you're starting to see F as it relates to the three black keys. And remember, there's a worksheet that you can download if you ever forget, and you can use that as reference. But make sure you do a lot of drilling on this. You want to make it so fast that just the second I play a note, you know that's a G, or you know that's a D. In fact, we are in the future going to do a little exercise like that, so you want to make sure you're prepared for it. So on your own, go through, and now that you understand how the white keys relate to the black keys, make sure you drill them, and those are the names of the white notes on the piano.